It is 7 a.m. on July 16th, 2018. Time to head out for my road trip down to Florida from New Jersey and then up to Maine. All right, here we go. Onward to Florida. Only 2 charging stops. The first time I went to Fairfax, Virginia, I had 4 charging stops, maybe 5, and it took 9 hours, which is a 4.5 hour drive. It'll only take like 5.5 hours, something like that. Nice. Hello, Garden State Parkway. I'll be on this road for half an hour, and then it's all I-95. I have to leave the highway, right? Leave my route in order to charge. So ideally, my charging location would be on one of the rest areas. Well, New Jersey is way behind on putting charging stations in rest areas. New York State has them, Maryland has them, so the states above and below us have them, but we don't yet. Alright, this is my first time at this Mom's Organic Market. Aha! It's in the sun! No! I'm gonna use them both. Ready to charge. Alright, doesn't say anything about using a card. So let's see if we can just plug it in and it'll go. Yep! Nice! So some of these require a card so that they can charge you money to charge using their electricity. And some of them are free, and so this one is free. At Mom's Organic Market in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and I came out to check on my charging, and the charging rate had slowed from 8.5 kilowatts to 6 kilowatts. Disconnected my third supercharger, so I was only charging with 2. Then I tried to charge up using those 2 and my Elcon. The Elcon would not draw anything. That didn't work, so now I'm charging up at like 6 or 4. And I think it's slowed down because the battery is at 115 degrees Fahrenheit. It stops charging entirely at 122 degrees Fahrenheit. So having the chargers directly underneath the battery is really heating it up very quickly. This is my first charging stop of the day. It was 80 degrees when I got here. It's about 89:45 a.m. right now. I am going to head off to my next charging stop. And we'll see what happens with the battery temperature and with the charging rate once I get there. Alright, just charged up to 92% at Mom's Organic Market. Now time to head to Maryland, going to White Marsh Park and Ride, which is where I have charged on all of my trips to Washington, D.C. over the past 6 years. Oh my gosh, so many trips. Love it. My battery temperature is alarmingly high. I am going to keep an eye on that. I'm going to try to keep my energy use low. But otherwise, it's a beautiful day. It's a little warm, but you know, better than rain. So, onward. The Delaware Memorial Bridge, leaving New Jersey, entering Delaware. How about that? Maryland welcomes me. It's just before 11 a.m. Making good time. Here's the Delaware River. One of the nicest views on the ride in Maryland. Right now I'm heading south. Alright, I'm at mile 67, the White Marsh exit in Maryland. My battery says I have 5% left. It is not allowing me to use full power. I charged up to 92% instead of 100% at my last charging stop because it was making my battery pretty hot, which slowed down the charging rate. My battery is currently at 115 degrees. It will stop charging at 122 degrees. Alright, fortunately I am at the top of a hill and the chargers are downhill from here. Alright. Excitement on day 1. Okay, here we go. At the White Marsh Park and Ride. There are 4 double chargers here. Oh no, just kidding. There are 4 single chargers here. It's at 117. It got hotter. Oh, that's not good. get out 2 charge point cards, and get started. Okay, we're all plugged in. Charging up at a White Marsh Park and Ride. Look at these beauties. I only have 80 miles to go, so I don't need a full charge. Riding 98 miles, I charged up only to 92%. And so using 92%, I was able to ride 98 miles. I got down to 5%. It started limiting my power, so I could go comfortably on side roads, but not so much on the highway. Here's another thing I've gotten used to over the years, walking next to a busy highway. When I charge up, the charging station is not always right next to a restaurant or a place where I'd like to hang. So I gotta take a little hike. I could try IKEA and get some of those delicious Swedish meatballs. I think I'm gonna try that out because IKEA is right here. Nice. Okay, just got back to my bike. I was charging, but the screen was flashing, giving me an error. And then I had to restart the charging session, so I got on my card. Bloop, bloop. The temperature of the battery is 124 degrees, which is above the temperature that I can charge at. We'll see what happens. Came back to my bike and found that it wasn't happy being turned off and charging. The situation with charging is that I've charged up to 53% using the DigiNow superchargers that are sitting under the battery. They're touching the battery. When they charge up, they get really hot. So I have switched over to my trusty Elcon, and this is pumping out only 2 kilowatts. It's 1 p.m. right now. I want to miss DC traffic, so I'm going to leave here at 2, regardless of what my charge situation is. All right, the Elcon has stopped charging. I got 60%, and that's it. I'm gonna have to go to Bethesda. It's kind of rough first day. I just called Zero Motorcycles. I was getting a error code with 2 flashes and then 1 flash, and it basically meant that the big battery and the little battery up in the power tank are not necessarily balanced. So I'm charged up to 60%. The battery temperature has come down enough where I can charge again. So I have just my one Elcon charging at 2 kilowatts, and that should hopefully charge up the battery to 100%, which will balance it out, and that will allow me to go again. It does not allow me to go because there's miscommunication between the batteries. This happens when you fast charge, only when you fast charge. I've never had it happen on a daily basis, but when you're doing fancy fast charging with DigiNows and stuff. So what that means is I'm gonna have to ride through DC rush hour traffic, which I so carefully planned my trip around, making sure I wouldn't have to do that. So that's a bummer. Back to IKEA to maybe eat some more. Okay, I got here at noon, and now it is 4:15, and I am about to leave. 4 hours and 15 minutes of charging challenges. The battery overheated, and then it only charged up to 60%, which meant the main battery and the power tank did not communicate well to each other, so it would not let me ride. But the solution to that is to charge it all the way to full. Well, it's hot, so I can't charge it at 9 kilowatts. So I had to charge at 2 kilowatts using my Elcon charging system from back in the day, like 2014. And then for the last 20 minutes, I've been using the DigiNow superchargers again because the battery is not so hot. And it's now at 100%. Now there are some afternoon thunderstorms in the sky. That sky was completely blue when at 1 o'clock when I was supposed to leave here. So it's really frustrating having to ride through thunderstorms when I could have been riding through nice sunny weather. But that's the way it goes sometimes, and time to move on. Here we go. There's Baltimore straight ahead, underneath that massive rain cloud. When I was supposed to be driving by here, it was nice and sunny at 1 p.m. today. And because of my charging troubles, it took me much longer to get going. And now I've got to ride through what apparently is pouring rain. The Fort McHenry Tunnel in Baltimore. And what do we have at the other side? Rain! Ah, damn it. Heavy rain. Heavy, nasty. Oh, big droplet rain. Okay. I've got about an hour and 45 minutes left on my ride, so hopefully I'll air dry. It cleared up a bit and now it's raining again. But the thing that is surprising me is there are suds on the road. If you look at the road, there are these like wide white stripes, Those are all bubbles. DC, it is 5:15 in the afternoon. Making pretty good time now. There's the Mormon temple. Beautiful structure. Right there. It's a blue Tesla Model 3 back there. Welcome to Virginia! I missed the sign, but that's because I am wet and there's a ton of traffic. There is a brand new Tesla Model 3. That is the second one I've seen today. Score. I'm still waiting on mine. Mine's coming in at the end of 2018, early 2019, hopefully. There's another Tesla Model 3. That's the third one I've seen in the DC area. Holy cow, that one has real plates, so they've had it for a little bit. Since I'm on a motorcycle, I can go in the HOV lane, which is also crawling along just like the regular lane.